We're back for MLB Best Bets here on the channel for Wednesday, July 9th. It is getaway day for some teams today, so that means we've got baseball all day long today on this Wednesday. Early games, night games, we have got you covered for our 5 best bets. Now, yesterday, another very positive day, a 4-1 day here on the channel. The 2-player props hit. CJ Abrams went over with his 2 singles, and Lawrence Butler, I told you he was doing it with the first pitch he saw, the first at-bat that he got. Lead off inside the park home run for La Dog. Our 2 money lines hit as well with the New York Metropolitans and of course with the Texas Rangers. Hell, our additional plays hit as well. A's money line hit too. Also, we had a Detroit Tigers money line hit. So technically a 6-in-1 day. Obviously, those are unofficial bets as well. The Nerfie didn't hit though. So I don't know. It's been rough on the Nerfies. I know. We'll try to get it together today. Anyways, folks, before we get into the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. Today is our UFC Best Bets on Greedo Plays MMA, but make sure to check out our UFC National predictions. Those are linked down in the description down below. And later today, again, our UFC Best Bets. Here's just something that we're going to be doing, of course, today. So, like, 2 fighter parlays. We're gonna have over-unders on Greedo Plays MMA today for our UFC Nashville Best Bets. Go make sure to check out that video, likely noon today on Greedo Plays MMA. So make sure to join us over there. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets. I don't know if the odds are gonna shift at all for this game, legitimately, because the Phillies collapsed yesterday. It was bad, I'm not gonna lie. Now, guys, I'm telling you, the dark magic within the San Francisco Giants is real. Okay, it just is. Now, was that a cool moment? Patrick Bailey walk-off 3-run inside the park home run. It was. You know, I got to give credit to where credit is due. It's not like I like the Phillies either, so I'm a neutral party watching this baseball game. I've never been a Giants fan, obviously. I'll never forgive the Giants for 2014, but it's okay. It's the dark magic's real with this squad. I mean, again, Patrick Bailey blasts a baseball in a triples alley, but it takes the weirdest bounce ever, gets behind Brandon March, and Bailey hits the first walk-off inside the park home run for a catcher since 1926, I believe. What? And I think just in general, the first inside the park home run for a catcher since 1929, I think the official stat was on that. That's insane. So the Phillies choked miserably yesterday. They're up 3-0 going in the 9th inning. They lose 4-3. Okay, they lost game 1 of the series 3-1. We had Phil's money line in that game, obviously, with Christopher Sanchez. Didn't go our way either. Okay, let's regroup right now for the Phillies, and let's go just salvage this series here against the San Francisco Giants. Again, this is a Phillies team that is still in first place currently in the National League East with a 53-39 record. The main reason, though, we are taking the Phillies today is because of Justin Verlander. I have to do it. Guys, Unk's pitching. Unk's 42. Unk is still yet to win a game as a starting pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. Today's not going to be different. Unk's got a 4.84 ERA, and again, I said we are never picking Justin Verlander ever again after his atrocity, after whatever the hell he did, that atrocious performance that he had on the 4th of July in Sacramento against the Athletics. Verlander goes 3 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs. Unk needs to retire, okay? I get it. He's chasing records still. He's chasing all-time achievements. JV has nothing to chase anymore, though. He is still an all-time great pitcher. He is a surefire lock for the Hall of Fame. And it's like, all right, I get why Max is still playing, because Max is still doing it at somewhat of a high level. JV's nowhere close to a high level anymore. There's a reason Houston pushed him out the door. There's a reason he's still not pitching over there. That's why he's here in San Francisco, and the Giants are just okay with this, I guess. JV's not good anymore, guys. He's just not. After that A's performance, I'm here to say he's getting blown up today, okay? He's getting 100% blown up by the Philadelphia Phillies, a team that is just, I feel like they're just waiting to just really just explode. I don't know. I feel like they're right there in most of these games, too. And they've got a bunch of guys who are just right there. Trey Turner's having a good season. Should have been an all-star, okay? The shortstops for the National League should have been him and CJ Abrams, but it's okay. Kyle Schwarber is having another Kyle Schwarber-esque year, hit a home run yesterday. Bryce is not playing all that well. And sure, the Phillies got robbed on Monday, by the way. I mean, that the umpiring in the 8th inning was absolutely ridiculous, and just throughout the course of that game on Monday. But it is what it is. That umpire needs to be investigated, the home plate umpire, but that's neither here or there. Bryce has just been cold, I'll be honest. Alec Boehm's been all right. Castellanos has been okay. Again, they're a team that's just kind of right there. And I said it a couple days ago, I still think this is their year to win the World Series. I firmly believe that. with their pitching, I think you get them in a playoff scenario, especially if they have home field advantage, if they're playing at the bank. I don't know if teams can beat this squad more times than not. With the pitching, with Wheeler, with Ranger, with Sanchez, McAble potentially as well, they're really good, man. And I've always just assumed the bats are going to heat up for the postseason. Today, though, I think Verlander is getting bombed on. Do I think Jesus Luzardo is going to get bombed on too? Probably. My thing with that, though, is I am much more confident in the Philadelphia Phillies hitting Justin Verlander than I am with the Giants hitting Jesus Luzardo. I get it. Both those pitchers haven't been pitching well. I would rather rely on a team with Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper rather than the Giants, who have Rafael Devers, who has not hit well so far this year. Elliot Ramos has his nights, but other than him, I mean, Adames has cooled off, obviously, since he had that monster series in Sacramento. Matt Chapman's just been since the injury. Jung-Hoo Lee has been atrocious, I'm just going to be honest. I'd much rather trust Philadelphia in this spot. And again, we fade Unk. So give me the Philadelphia Phillies to at least attempt to salvage this series in San Francisco against the Giants. As of now, it's minus 135. I have a very good feeling this is going to drop down to about the minus 120 range, just because, again, people are going to be betting the Giants, going to be betting them the sweep. Philly lost in a horrible walk-off fashion yesterday. I expect the line to come down. I'm still taking Philadelphia, though, to win on the road at Oracle. Let's go on to our second best bet of the video. It is our daily Nerfy. Okay, the Nerfies have been cold. I know they've been kind of cool for a while. Let's hope we can get it together today. So Andrew Abbott yesterday was named a first-time All-Star. Very well deserved. Abbott with a 2.15 ERA, technically not a qualified pitcher if I'm not mistaken. He just doesn't pitch the innings because Andrew Abbott is more of just a 5-6 inning type guy. And don't get me wrong, he's tremendous in those 5 to 6 innings. He just doesn't usually go all that deep into his starts. But anyways, that doesn't mean a damn thing for us today. We just need 3 outs out of Andrew Abbott. And I expect Abbott to be much better since his last start yesterday against the Phillies, which was just not yesterday, but his last start on July 4th against the Phillies, in which he went 3 1/3 innings, 9 hits, 4 runs. I expect Abbott to be much better this time around against a Marlins lineup that can be scary. I've detailed that multiple times. They have a bunch of guys in that lineup that you may not know or may not be all that familiar with, but guys like Otto Lopez, guys like Agustin Ramirez, hell, Xavier Edwards, Eric Wagaman. They've got guys who have sneaky pop. Jesus Sanchez, obviously, everyone should know. And guys that can give you trouble. I'm here to tell you, though, I think Andrew Abbott matches up really well with the Miami Marlins. This is a lineup that did score 12 runs yesterday against Cincinnati. Yuri Perez had probably his best start so far this season, 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. And Nick Martinez, in classic Nick Martinez fashion, got blown up. I still don't know how he took a no-hit bid into the 9th inning a couple weeks ago against the San Diego Padres. I still don't get that. But I'm telling you, I think the matchups for Andrew Abbott really favor him. Xavier Edwards, great switch hitter. I'm okay there with Abbott. Jesus Sanchez, this team's best hitter, I would say. Stowers is their all-star this year. Much well-deserved, by the way, for Kyle Stowers. But again, another lefty. So there's just a lot of the good hitters in this team are left-handed bats. Agustin Ramirez, I say it all the time, when Agustin Ramirez touches a baseball, it pops off the bat. He's like James Wood, not obviously build-wise, but if Ramirez gets into a baseball and he finds a pitch that he likes, he is cranking that thing. But again, there's a chance we don't even have to see Agustin Ramirez in the top half of the first inning, because I expect Abbott to get X, to get Jesus Sanchez, and Otto Lopez, who's a good hitter as well. I think Abbott's going to get him too. On the flip side, Sandy Alcantara versus the Cincinnati Reds. I've been on the record multiple times saying I don't think the Reds are that good. I don't think their lineup's all that good. This is a 500 baseball team. They're 46-46. The Marlins are 6 games under. I give this team a lot of credit, man. I mean, somehow in the span of the Nationals rebuild, they have made the playoffs 2 years ago, completely torn everything apart, and somehow they're kind of playable again. I don't understand what we're doing wrong in DC. I'll get to them in a second. Anyways, though, I've been on record and I've said I don't think this Reds lineup is very good. I think they have pieces. I think TJ Friedel's good in spots. I think Ellie De La Cruz, obviously, is an all-star in the sport. I get that. Tyler Stevenson is very good in spots. I still think with the guy like Sandy Alcantara, who has been... He's been a mixed bag. We thought he was trending in the right direction in the month of June. He started off the month with 4 really good starts. Closed the month of June, though, on the 28th against the D-backs, and I get it's Arizona, with a 6 innings, 7-run, 10-hit performance. And then his last start against the Milwaukee Brewers at Lone Depot, Alcantara went 6 innings of 5-hit and 5-run baseball. ERA's back up to 7 for Sandy. Again, he's going to get traded to a contender in a couple weeks, and he'll likely be fixed. I'm just going to be honest. Like Zach Gallen, too, if the Diamondbacks are willing to part ways with him, which they should. Arizona should kind of tear it down to a certain extent, obviously. You got to keep Corbin, you got to keep Cattell. Anyways, that's the only time we're talking about the D-backs today. No best bet for that video, for that game. But anyways, I just need Sandy to be good for the first half of the inning. By far, the two challenges we're going to face, and this is just the Reds in general in the first inning, are TJ Friedel and Elly De La Cruz. Matt McLain went yard yesterday, and that's what McLain obviously offers the top of that lineup. Hell, he hit the home run off of Yuri Perez in the first inning. That's what McLain offers. He offers power. Again, he's a 210 hitter, 220 hitter, but McLain can blast the baseball, obviously. But I don't think he does. I don't think he hits back-to-back first home runs in the first inning. Okay? I just don't think he does in back-to-back games. So I think Alcantara gets him, and the two matchups obviously that scare me are Friedel and Elly De La Cruz. Ultimately, though, I know Sandy still got the stuff. Obviously, former Cy Young Award winner. The stuff's still kind of there. He had a better month of June. Obviously, the start to July wasn't where he wanted it to be, but this is still a more than capable pitcher. And again, I look at the odds. Nerfy's at -130. I am more than confident Andrew Abbott's going to go get 3 outs. Are you going to play -130 to take basically, better odds than not Alcantara is going to get the 3 outs, but ultimately, again, -130 for Sandy Alcantara to get 3 outs against the top of the Cincinnati Reds lineup? Yeah, I'm going to favor the former Cy Young winner, even though he's having a bad season and his worst season in the bigs. Sandy Alcantara and Andrew Abbott go out here and get us the 6 outs to kick off this game at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our third best bet of the video is our Washington Nationals. Best bet of the video, I'm going Washington Nationals money line +100 today. Talk about yesterday's game in a second, but here's why I'm going Nats money line today. They have to eventually win a game with Mackenzie Gore pitching. Eventually, it has to happen, okay? Just like math-wise, statistics, probability. How many times in a row are they not going to win with Mackenzie Gore on the mound? You might be thinking, wait, this doesn't make sense because, you could argue, if you bet on black a million times and it keeps rolling, it keeps spinning red, or keeps coming out as red 30 times in a row, it doesn't matter. The 31st time, it's still a 50-50 shot. I know green's a thing, but still, ultimately, it's a 48% chance it's still going to be black or red. No, that doesn't apply here, okay? It's not just a 50-50 the Nationals are winning a baseball game, okay? Usually, it's below a 50% chance. Mackenzie Gore is a top 5 pitcher in the MLB, and he's got a 3-8 record with a 3 ERA. With the 5th most strikeouts in baseball, he'll likely get back into the 2 spot about today. It's a damn shame. And I could go on my spiel. No, he's not coming back to the 2 spot. My goodness, Zach Wheeler's got 17 more Ks. Oh, he's going to get back in the 4 spot. Yikes. Anyways, now Mackenzie Gore 20 strikeout day today. Don't just you wait. Anyways, I could get on about how the fact of the matter is Mackenzie Gore is probably not going to re-sign with the Nationals, and Mackenzie Gore's time in DC is likely limited. I'm going to save that for a later date. Does Mackenzie have one more start before the All-Star break? He does not, right? No. Anyways, so that means he's going to pitch the All-Star game, which is fine, but it's like, kind of rather him pitch for the team. It's okay. Yeah, because Jake's going to go on Sunday. Whatever. Mackenzie will actually get to pitch in the All-Star game, which will be fire. Regardless, I go on about how I don't think Mackenzie's going to stay here long-term, unfortunately. Now, if I could have it my way, I would obviously throw the book at this guy, but I don't think we're going to have the money to re-sign him just because he's a Scott Boras client. Anyways, though, eventually this team has to win a game with Mackenzie Gore on the mound. He's been consistently great for them. I know they won the last game for Gore, but Gore didn't get the win, is what I'm saying, okay? Mackenzie Gore hasn't actually, gotten the W since that Cubs start on June 4th. Again, they came back and won the game last Wednesday against the Tigers, and that was great, but they had to come back in that game where Mackenzie pitched well enough, and the Nats, again, they scratched it and clawed their way back into that one. Can they get Miguel Cairo his first win today? I would hope, pitching today for the St. Louis Cardinals is Andre Payante. And Payante, he's okay. Coming off a really good start against the Pittsburgh Pirates. But if we're following trends, hey, we followed a trend yesterday with Jose Soriano, and he got blown up against the Rangers. You follow the trends, it's an every other start basis for Andre Payante, okay? It's an every other start thing. 3 starts ago against the Reds, 6 innings, 3 hits, 0 runs. Last start against the Pirates in a game that the Reds actually lost 1-0. He goes 7 innings of shutout baseball with only giving up 1 hit. Again, every other game thing. I'm fine with this. Payante's not going to pitch 13 consecutive scoreless innings. The Nats should be able to get on him. And I'm really not, I am concerned a little bit, but I'm somewhat confident in that, okay? It's their second time seeing Payante. They struggled earlier in the year with him in DC. They should be all right here. So again, can the Nats get Miguel Cairo his first win? I would sure hope so. So ultimately, I'm going Nats money line plus 100. Gore should be lights out today against the St. Louis lineup that he faced earlier in the season and didn't have his best outing against. One of his worst outings actually of the year. Again, McKenzie's a competitor. He's a gamer. He's an all-star. He's going to bounce back, and he's going to make it his mission to beat St. Louis this time around. Yesterday... So before the game yesterday, well, or I guess before the rain delay in St. Louis, new interim Nationals manager Miguel Cairo said, and I quote, "With tears in my eyes," no, I messed up the quote. Wow, I'm bad at this. He didn't quote that. Okay, before the Nationals-Cardinals game yesterday, new Nationals interim manager Miguel Cairo, with tears in his eyes, said that he had only accepted the interim manager role because of Davey Martinez's blessing. If not, he said he would have just quit. Okay, so I'm here to tell you, I got Davey Martinez's blessing yesterday to criticize this baseball team, okay? I am not going to implode right now about Miguel Cairo and say I'm going to call for his job. Obviously, it's one game. But here's the thing about Miguel Cairo, okay? And don't get me started about the Nationals' lack of base running yesterday. I love Josh Bell, but why isn't Josh Bell scoring on that second inning hit from Dalen Lyle? I don't know. And I'm not going to talk about the multiple double plays we grounded into, because again, that's just Nationals baseball. What I am going to complain somewhat about is the fact that the home plate umpire yesterday was horrible. He just wanted to get out of there at most points of that game. We were getting squeezed when we were pitching, and then our own guys in the box were getting horrible calls. Miguel Cairo, and I feel like I'm watching 2025 Davey Martinez all over again. And this is the problem we had with Davey. He didn't care. He stood in the dugout with the blank Davey stare and did not give a damn and did not battle for the boys. Miguel Cairo, I think's the same thing. Well, again, here's the thing. Cairo's Davey's buddy. So here's my problem with this, guys. Nationals lose yesterday. I'm just used to it at this point. They scored 2 runs. Immediately the Cardinals answer, and we could never get back into it. So many missed opportunities in that game for the Nationals. Again, I've come to just expect that at this point. But here's my thing with this. Why fire Davey if you're literally just going to bring in his buddy who acts just like him? I don't get it. Now, the Mike Rizzo thing, I might be in the minority here. I understand the Rizzo firing. I do. He has never drafted well. Look at the bullpen. Look at the team. This has been my whole thing. And sure, this might not be Rizzo's fault either. What do you want Davey to do? What do you want Miguel Cairo and the next manager as well, if the Learners don't put in money to this team? What do you want them to do if this is the team we're throwing out here? And sure, Jake Irvin, I will make a whole video next week during the All-Star break about every single player I want back on the Nationals next season and guys I want gone. I'm going to detail you the 26-man roster I want next year for opening day and a realistic opening day roster for next season. Jake Irvin, I'll tell you right now, he's part of the opening day roster. I think he should come back, but not as our number 2 starter. So what do you want Miguel Cairo to do with this lineup? But the only thing he can control, though, is not the guys on his team, but it's the effort, not the effort, but it's the overall intensity and, I don't know, caring about the squad, something we had complained about for months with Martinez this season. That's all I ask out of Miguel Cairo. Anyways, today, give me Nationals money line plus 100. Again, that's my daily Nationals tangent. On to our 4th best bet of the video, our best player prop of the day. Let's go to Anaheim, California for the Texas Rangers and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Corey Seager, over 1.5 total bases today. Corey Seager's catching fire right now. So far in the month of July, guys, Corey Seager has a OBP of 470. I know the OBP doesn't really matter to us here because walks don't win us these bets, but Corey Seager's average in the month of July so far, sure, it's only been a week and a half, or really just a week and a day, but Seager's average is 350 and his OPS is 1.3. That's something, you know? That's a big deal. 130. What? No, not 130. 1.3 or 1.276 OPS. We'll take that at a Corey Seager. Yesterday's game, again, I told you so. Told you Jose Soriano was getting blown up. It was the same exact thing I had seen when he pitched against the Nationals, coming off a really good start. Okay, Soriano's going to implode, and that's exactly what he did yesterday. Rangers win 13-1. Rangers money line and A's money lines yesterday were the easiest bets I've ever made. I actually stopped watching those games and watch the San Diego Padres because I was like, obviously I have the Nationals, the big TV, and then my laptop. Regardless, I put the Nationals on my TV every single night. It's great. Anyways, I love the late night Nats too. Love it. Anyways, Corey Seager's heating up. In every game but one so far in the month of July, Corey Seager has a base knock. And in over half those games, he has 2 base knocks. And in the games where he hasn't gotten those 2 base knocks, in 2 out of those 3 games where he's only gotten 1 knock, he's gotten extra bases. So, I'll break this down for you. Corey Seager is hitting over 1.5 total bases at a 66% rate so far. Nope. 7 of over 9. What is that? 7 over 9. That's 77% rate this year. 78% rate this month for Corey Seager. He's gone over 1.5 total bases. His pitching matchup tonight is Kyle Hendricks for the Los Angeles Angels. Okay, this is another unk. He's 35 years of age, 4.68 ERA, and Kyle Hendricks gets hit up pretty much in every single start that he has this year. Again, he is just a veteran who's going to eat innings, I understand. But Kyle Hendricks is yet to be really good this year, and Corey Seager is obviously the best guy on Texas, and if this team's going to get going tonight, like they did yesterday, it's going to be a product of Corey Seager. Seager has seen Hendricks quite a bit, and I'll tell you why I don't think his 3 for 14 career-wise, so that's a 214 average for Seager, really matters. Obviously these two have met, time in and time out. Obviously, when they're both in the National League with Dodgers and Cubs. I'll tell you why I don't think this matters that much, guys. Kyle Hendricks against 35, and he hasn't shown nothing of what he was in Chicago, where obviously he made his money. It's not the same guy. Velo's down, and Seager is heating up right now. Corey Seager was ice cold to start the season. Obviously, there have been injuries in Texas, and injuries with Corey Seager specifically, that have really, stunted the momentum of his season. He came back after injury for a couple weeks in the month of June, and he batted 188 in the entire month. But again, so far so good in the month of July, and really Seager was really heating up to end the month of June as well. I mean, he started the month of June, I think he was like 0 for 23 to start the month of June, so automatically he dug himself into a hole. But the last 7 games of the month of June that Seager played, he had a hit in every single one of those. So Seager in 15 out of his last 16 games has gotten a hit. That's good stuff. The on-base streak, I believe, is about 16, because even that one game he went 0 for against the Padres, he did walk. So Seager's getting on base, and he's swinging the bat really well as well. And I think that's got to mean, again, Seager is going to get on base multiple times tonight. And I think it's going to be via the hits, obviously. Homered yesterday, homered on Monday against the Angels as well. I'm not telling you he's going to go 3 for 3 with home runs in Los Angeles or in Anaheim. But I do think Seager is going to make a huge impact on this baseball game. And ultimately, I do believe Corey Seager is going to go over the 1.5 total bases today. Again, Hendricks is old. He's not very good at this point, and Seager is the guy who leads and guides this Texas Rangers offense. So I'm going Corey Seager today, over 1.5 total bases on the road in Anaheim. It's at minus 130. He's got the shortest odds, obviously, to reach the 1.5 total bases today, but that's fine. Give me Corey Seager on the over, minus 130. Our final best bet of the video is in Sacramento, California, up in NorCal at Sutter Health Park. We have got the Athletics taking on the Atlanta Braves. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going with the A's again. Now, Jacob Wilson may not play. Jacob Wilson got hit by a pitch in the first inning yesterday against Didier Fuentes, and he had to get pulled, I believe, for Max Schumann. The latest report, though, on Jacob Wilson is that it was nothing serious. It was a bruised hand. I don't know what that means for tomorrow, though, right? I don't know. Maybe he's back, maybe he's not. I don't know. I think it's a 50-50 if he plays, and I think it's a 50-50 if Ronald Acuna plays as well. Acuna was out the lineup yesterday for Atlanta with the back injury, and he was scratched at the last second, so I don't know. I think it's a 50-50 for both guys, honestly. I think Acuna's probably more likely to play, but who knows? I'm going to tell you this about the Braves. They're bad as it is. I'm serious. They're getting into Nationals levels of bad, which is crazy. Who would have thought, right? But they are so stagnant without Ronald Acuna in the lineup, and that was evident yesterday. And obviously, they dug themselves into a huge hole immediately in that baseball game. Held the first pitch where Lawrence Butler had the inside the park home run. I mean, it's the end of the second inning, and this team's down 9-0. Lawrence Butler, shout out to Law Dog, though. 2 home runs in the first 3 innings of that baseball game. Absolutely tremendous. But I mean, again, the A's were up 10-0 after the end of the 3rd inning, and obviously they phoned it in from there. They won the game 10-1. But without Acuna in that lineup, they are bad. You got a bunch of guys who are just struggling this year. Matt Olson's doing all right. Austin Riley's doing all right. The rest of the lineup, Ooh, they're bad, man. Jurickson Profar's off the roid, so he's not as good anymore. He's bad in leadoff right now with Acuna out. Sean Murphy's not having a good season. Marcell Ozuna's having a really bad year as well. Ozzy Albies is not performing. And then the bottom lineup, what? Stuart Fairchild, Eli White, Nick Allen? That's not great, you know? Ozuna, and guys, this is a Braves team that should sell. Will they? I don't know. Like, Ozuna, they should be moving on from. And sure, a lot of these guys are under contract for a while, and they're going to keep this core together. But, like, Ronald Acuna obviously will stay. Olsen, I don't think anyone's going to take that contract. But a guy like Ozuna, 100% they should move at the deadline. Them and the Braves. It should be a seller's market coming up in a couple weeks. Hey, Josh Bell's in the market, though, and Paul DeYoung, and Ahmed Rosario. Don't want to miss those guys. Anyways, and Mike Soroka. Regardless, though, and keep it Ruiz. But the A's should win this baseball game. The pitching matchup is abysmal. I'm not going to lie to you. Bryce Elder and Mitch Spence. Over-under tonight's 10.5. I'd expect the over to hit. Bryce Elder's got a 6 ERA this season, and this is why I'm taking the A's. And Mitch Spence got a 4.06 ERA. Spence is going to go his regular 5 innings, give up like 3 runs. Bryce Elder's going to get blown up today, though, guys. Listen to Bryce Elder's last 4 starts. So after a start where he went on the road to San Francisco and pitched 8 innings of 1-hit baseball, 3-hit but 1-run baseball in San Francisco, his last 4 starts have been absolutely abysmal. Against the Rockies, 3 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. Marlins, 5 1/3, 10 hits, 5 runs. Phillies, 2 innings, 8 hits, 10 runs. Angels, 5 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. The Braves don't win Bryce Elder starts. Hell, even when he pitches well, like that game against the Giants where he went 8 innings of 1-run baseball, they lost. Pitched against the Nationals in late May or mid-May, 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 run, his team lost. The Braves don't win games with Bryce Elder, and his ERA in the month of June was 8.25. That does not help. Again, I say it all the time. Struggling pitchers, you don't get fixed by going to Sacramento. It just makes it way worse. Ball flies, air's thin, it's hot. Minor league ballpark. Ooh, it's not a recipe for success. Sure, Mitch Spence will get blown up, but Bryce Elder's going to get blown up worse. And guys, look at that A's lineup. I always say it. Butler, Wilson, Rooker. Brent Rooker, we said it was a matter of time yesterday before Brent Rooker got going. Yesterday, he got going. Hit a home run. That's when he needed to get back in it. Nick Kurtz with the grand slam. Hey, if they can get great production out of Kurtz, if Kurtz is a 250 power hitter, oh man. You just add on now to, all right, the big 3, and now here comes Kurtz. And here's the thing. Zach Geloff, I don't know if Zach Geloff's ever going to be what he was his rookie season. If they can just get some production out of Zach Geloff at the bottom of the lineup, they're good. They're good. They're a young team. They're still a couple years away. But by the time this team gets to Vegas, Astros, I know we're waiting for that fall off for a while, but I'm serious. By the time the A's get to Vegas, they should be winning this division every year. The young core is going to be much more developed and all-stars and older. They should be able to, they'll be in Vegas, they can have money and they can spend. Their pitching should be much improved. That's why they're probably not moving on from Mason Miller right now. They're probably not going to trade Mason because they want him to be part of the Vegas crew. And you just add on some vets to the squad. If Butler, Wilson, Rooker, and Kurtz, and hell, Soderstrom are all still there. Ooh, you just add some pieces around these guys. That's a nasty squad. And you just make the bullpen better. I'm telling you, I don't know if the A's are going to become what the Dodgers and the Yankees are, but if they're in Vegas, big market, they expect winning over there. You know, like the Golden Knights, not like the Raiders, but like if they expect winning over there in Vegas and the A's start doing that, ooh, they're going to start spending and they're going to be good for a long time. A's win tonight. It's going to be a shootout, but I am much more confident in the A's to win the shootout rather than this struggling Braves lineup who's won 1 baseball game in the last week. Yeah, give me the Athletics to win at home in Sacramento. It is plus money to, which is crazy, plus 105 for the A's at home against the Braves. So folks, that'll do it for MLB Best Bets here on June 9th. If you have not yet though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.